This is the GTN Show. Welcome. Now, it is just the two of us, but we do have a packed show in store for you.
Yes, coming up, we've got race results with an extra special feature. We've also got evidence of your race face, and we've got, well, a piece on how to get fit in minutes. I mean, who wouldn't want to?
And we're also going to be discussing our crazy sport of triathlon and whether us triathletes are the toughest athletes out there.
And one other little feature, we've got a piece about the Winter Olympics. Now, you might be wondering why, but it starts tomorrow, and there's actually a triathlete that's going to be featuring in Pyeongchang.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about what we've been up to. I saw you did a park run at the weekend.
I did, and I thought, maybe I wanted to take a bit of pressure off and not have to race against my own PB, so I found a new one. It's only the 8th race at Melksham Park Run, and a bit frustrated when I finished because not that it really matters, and soon someone will smash my time because I'm not fit, but I was late to the start. Now, I wasn't actually late, but the starter started the race at 3 minutes to 9, and I've never been to a park run that started on time.
Okay.
Honestly, there's evidence of this. So I had to run against the crowd to run around the start post and then set off. So I wasted 5-10 seconds, and I was 3 seconds off the women's course record.
Oh, excuses. I hear you.
But what about you? I saw something on social media that might be of interest.
So we have qualified for the Otelo Swim Run World Championships.
Have I missed you doing a swim run when I wasn't looking?
Well, I'm doing it with Richard Stannard, who's a multiple world champion in swimming, triathlon, biathlon, all
He's
sorts.
even dipped his toe in a little bit of pentathlon, not with the fencing and riding, but the biathlon.
There you go.
version,
Yeah, so he is kind of like the Richard Varga of sort of 5-10 years ago. He's led out numerous World Cup swims, and we're not too dissimilar in the swim, so we thought, okay, this could be a really good match. Admittedly, I haven't swum for quite a while, so I've got to get training, but I've done it before. I did, fairly well with old housemate at the time, so I thought this could be really good fun. And we've got in by director's choice, so we haven't had to
Sweetened
qualify.
up the director, I see.
But it should be really cool content for the channel. So I'm going to bore you with a lot of swim run content over the next year.
And didn't you tell me that recently Richard swam a 24 for a 50?
Yeah,
24
he has.
seconds.
He's done 24 seconds for
a 50 metre, not 50 yards.
Yeah, so let's hope his endurance isn't quite as good. But I've heard that you're doing a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, I literally entered it yesterday, and it is on Saturday. It's off-road, so I'm hoping that the fact that it's off-road and I'm doing it with my friend and we can take our time. I've never done a standalone marathon ever, and I'm not ready to do this one, but I'm going to do it for fun.
Awesome. So. Well, this is great prep for our half marathon.
Over distance training, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, so we talked about the half marathon last week, and we completely forgot to say that we're actually going to be sort of featuring a bit on the channel, so you can look forward to a lot of content in the lead up to half marathon.
Yeah. Well, talking of the Winter Olympics starting tomorrow, now there is a little bit of interest for triathlon. No, we haven't got winter triathlon yet into the games, but there's an athlete from Japan who competed in his first Paralympics in Rio. Well, it was the first time for triathlon to feature, but he is now going to his third Winter Olympics. So Kiichi Sato from Japan is a triathlete in the summer, and in the winter he's a biathlete and cross-country skier.
Wow, talk about versatile.
Yeah, I mean, not many people, able-bodied and Paralympic, have done summer, winter games. It's such a tough crossover. We occasionally see the sprinters doing bobsleigh and sprinting, but to do multi-sports is quite something.
Wow, so when does that start?
The actual games start on Thursday. I'm not sure what date his races are, but keep an eye out.
Well, I'll be staying tuned for that.
Yeah.
Well, whilst we're talking about athletes doing something slightly different, a few weeks ago we sort of spread the rumour that Sebastian Kienle and Ben Hoffman were going to be doing the Cape Epic, which is a multi-stage or multi-day mountain bike race. Mm-hmm. And it's out. They are doing it. So we were there. We got that rumour out there.
Well, it's part of the Ironman Foundation, and they've actually got 3 teams of 2, so they've got the 2 triathletes, and they've got 2 mountain bike riders, and then 2 age groupers who are also doing it for the foundation. And part of this is to raise money, and they're putting money into 3 of the host villages in South Africa. Injecting something back into the local community.
Fantastic.
Which is nice as well.
And moving on, we often think of Javier Gomez as an ITU athlete, but you can't ignore the fact that he is 2-time Ironman 70.3 world champion. And it seems that he quite likes that distance because he has just entered Challenge Wanaka.
Yeah, I was slightly surprised seeing that because it's a week on Saturday, so only a couple of weeks after Dubai. And we still haven't seen Alistair Brownlee and Javier Gomez go head-to-head in a 70.3.
That is going to be a race, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe it's a tactical thing.
Well, I know, I was wondering that. Like,
Same team. Ooh, who knows? Well, yeah, this takes place on February the 17th, and it's quite a big field up there. We've got British athlete Joe Skipper. We've got Dylan McNeese, who's won it before, though he is injured. So interested to see how he still does. Dougal Allen, who is previous winner. Luke McKenzie, Luke Bell. It's stacked. So it'd be really interesting to see how Javier compares.
Yeah, especially so early in the season as well.
Yeah, so let's stay tuned for this.
Well, last year we saw the introduction of the exciting race format of Super League. First of all, it was just a men's only event in Hamilton Island, which they got a little bit of stick for, but then moved to Jersey in the UK for a men's and a women's race in September. And excitingly, Jersey, UK Jersey, have just signed a 5-year deal. So we're going to see it 5 more times. So hopefully we can get over to watch it.
Yeah, it's a really cool race. It's a very unique format, and I guess in the athlete's own words, it is brutal.
Yeah, and I mean, the series is growing because I think they're opening it up to more athletes so they can qualify for the final. There's going to be a race in Poznan in Poland, and I think Penticton in Canada as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, yeah, they have like this eliminator format and all sorts going on. So really exciting race to watch. And whilst we're talking about events, there's been a new event added to the Escape series triathlon. So the same events company that do the Escape from Alcatraz, they have added Lake Tahoe.
They have, and I mean, we announced Huntington Beach as well. So they've now actually got 6 in their series. So they've kind of linked up with the Beijing International Triathlon and the AJ Bell London one. And then I think there's one in Philadelphia and one somewhere else in the States. So it's an opportunity for pros and age groupers to qualify through these to get the chance to
absolutely.
Escape Alcatraz.
Escape from Alcatraz is it's an iconic race. It's on a lot of people's bucket list, and it's always quite a hard event to try and qualify for. So it really is just opening doors.
I think they're making it quite black and white, and I think that's what Super League are doing as well. They're trying to make it fair for the athletes. So it's exciting that we're getting all these series because it makes more of a story to follow, I think,
absolutely,
for the sport.
Okay, so I got thinking the other day, we kind of get used to our funny little sport of triathlon, but if you take a step back, it's kind of mental. I mean, we're doing a swim, a bike, a run, all in one event, consecutively, and we're like, yeah, sign me up. I mean, what got me thinking is, are we the toughest athletes out there compared to some of these other sports?
It's a good debate, isn't it? I mean, how do you measure what is tough when you've got the likes of, I know our coach always used to say to us, cross-country skiers are the fittest athletes. I mean, I don't know if that makes them the toughest. It's one of the hardest sports.
Yeah. I mean, you've got like swimming, and rowing are often considered quite fit and tough athletes.
And I think they're like the mentally toughest sports. Like the rowers that I know and the swimmers that I know, of just the amount of training of just doing exactly the same thing every day. It's tough in a different way.
Very grueling. But then you got those sports like rugby, American football, boxing, where you're taking the hard hits day in, day out. So it's not necessarily that sort of indirect pain. It's literally like a physical pain. Those guys are tough.
But then they would say to us, to do a longer distance, they're very much short explosive work. So yes, it's tough, but it's like for a short period of time, whereas triathlon, it's for the whole race.
Absolutely, and you do hear these stories like Johnny Brownlee in World Cup WTS race last year. He crashed, carried his bike across the line. Susie Cheetham crashed in Ironman 70.3 South Africa, broke her arm, still finished the race. Chrissie Wellington crashed really badly 2 weeks before Kona and still won it. I think that was in 2010. And you got like Brett Sutton, who's an iconic triathlon coach, and he would make people do marathons in the corner of a room on a treadmill, and if they stopped, he'd make them start again.
Yeah. I mean, that's all just up here, isn't it?
Yeah,
complete mind games.
We're definitely a special breed.
And then it's the whole craze at the moment of like the growing in distance of a triathlon. Like, where's it going to end?
Yeah, I mean, you've just done an Ironman, and then there's
that's enough.
There's other people out there going, I want to go more. I want to do a Deca Ironman, and definitely not for me. But yeah, it's just like it's almost like we tried to outdo each other, and people sort of get off on being in the coldest water and doing the furthest races.
Well, then it brings it back to our sort of continual discussion of what's the toughest distance, because you still claim 70.3, or is it Olympic distance? I don't know. You swayed between two, and I was saying Ironman, but who decides? It's
absolutely. So kind of maybe need to open this out, and probably to a slightly biased audience, given that you're all triathletes. But we'd love to hear what you think is the toughest sport or the toughest athletes out there. And please just drop your comments down in the comment section below.
Well, that leads us nicely onto this week's poll, because maybe you're one of those athletes that loves to train like for longer, further, and the thought of having a bit of a rest makes you feel slightly uneasy. Well, we want to know what it is about triathlon that you dislike.
Yeah, so we've got a few options for you. Is it chafing, which is pretty unpleasant? Is it the silly amount of training hours that we have to do as triathletes? If you love training, is it the thought of taking that rest day? Is it the fact that we have gear spilling out everywhere as triathletes, 3 sports, out of your garage, or if you have a garage? Or is it something else? So we're giving the option of other, and you can enter that poll by clicking on the link above Heather's head.
Yeah, and last week we asked you, what face do you make when you race? Now, I guess it kind of varies as to what you think you make and what you actually make. So whether any of you looked up at your old photos, but it was 9% said other. Then next in, it was a relaxed face for 11% of you. 13% of you, including myself, smile, although I've seen some photos which don't prove that I smile, sadly, but I'm going with that one. Then second, it was a frown, 22% of you.
It's probably me.
You reckon you frown, Mark. For 43% of you, reckon you look natural.
Ooh.
Nice.
Just relaxed. And just,
yeah.
Cool. Well, we had some really good comments coming in, and one of the favourites actually came in from Jack Hutchins, and he said, smiling may have a psychological benefit, but does it outweigh the fact that it's less aero?
That's brilliant. Depends how big your mouth is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the thumbnail of last week's show, then...
Yeah, I'm probably not very aero when I'm smiling.
But anyway, whilst we're on the topic of your faces, some of you did send in some pictures, so we've got evidence here. Trevor Clark, well, I mean, he's definitely making a funny face with a fat tongue hanging out there.
He's not working hard enough.
Definitely not. Michael Lockhurst, racing with a smile works, apparently. 34 degrees in Phuket.
Oh, you got to smile if you're racing, otherwise it's just miserable,
God,
isn't it?
that is. But this one here makes me laugh, from Joseph F.S. Hayden. From different races, but how many different expressions can one person have?
So if it was the same race, like a step by step, as
you
he's
could
sort
put
of
it
gone
in
from
order.
Like, loving life to
There's
so much.
a few pain faces. There's a sort of, I might need to get to the bathroom quickly. There's definitely a good mixture. Brilliant.
Fantastic. We absolutely loved all those photos. And just keep sending in any photos, really. We love it. Just your GTN tribes, your pain caves. You can do that over Facebook and Twitter. Okay, now for the race news, and this weekend we had quite a big race in Dubai. It was Ironman 70.3 Dubai, and we had a stacked field. We had Alistair Brownlee racing.
Yeah, it's great to see him back. I mean, that hip injury last year took him out from Worlds, and we've not seen him race back in triathlon. And he's obviously been fit for a while, or healthy for a while, because
he 109 run split off the bike. Yeah, and I think it was a 3 hour 35 split for the total, which he was saying is very close to the world record for 70.3. And early in the season, he's definitely come back to say, look, I mean business this year. Yeah, and in second place it was Sven Riederer, and third it was Rudy Wild.
Well, on the women's side, another strong run performance actually sealed the deal. Admittedly, the positions changed a bit more. So Holly Lawrence had the lead in the swim and a really strong bike, but couldn't quite hold on to it in the run. And Anne Haug, though, ran a 1:14 for her half marathon to take the win. And then it was Sarah Lewis of Great Britain who had another strong run. She came second, and Holly Lawrence third. So 2 on the podium for Britain.
Amazing. Well, we could give you an in-depth analysis of the race, but why should we do that? Because we had some eyes on the ground from Mark Buckingham.
So here I am reporting from Dubai after the 70.3, and I've got the women's champion Annie Haug here and Alistair Brownlee, the men's champion, and we're currently in doping control, so it might be a while in here. So Annie, we'll start with you. Very good race. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. So I didn't know what to expect, and I thought that I was in pretty good shape. The training went well, so I was delighted with my race.
And Alistair, same question. Did you enjoy it?
I think enjoying a half Ironman is a funny question, but I think I enjoyed it as much as I possibly could. The bike course was pretty long and straight, and at times I wasn't enjoying that too much, but I did enjoy the run. It went well. It's the first time I felt like I was running for the whole half marathon at the end there, and got the nutrition right, and there was lots of people supporting on the side of the course.
The sea looked quite strong and rough Did you cope with that okay?
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really know where to go, so I was asking the boats and the people on the boat all the time where to go.
Yeah,
So
you had a similar problem, right?
Yeah, I wanted to push on the swim, but you kind of got out around the harbour, and the buoys weren't that big, and it was really wavy. So when you're at the bottom of the wave, you just got no idea. So I was a bit conservative. I didn't want to miss a buoy, and just made sure I got around in the end.
And on the run, there was that soft green surface. How was that to run on?
Yeah, it was not. Maybe it was very good for the joints, but it wasn't very fast. So I decided to go on the concrete one. Yeah, as long as I could, I was running on the concrete, and then I always took a bit of shortcuts to take the shortest way. Then you have to cross the green one, but it was very like soft and like energy absorbing. So I tried to avoid that.
Yeah. So you've both got the win number 1 under your belt. Are you both going to chase the $1 million then?
I try not to think about the million because it's a hard one to do it. So I focus on one race to another and hope for the best.
Will we see you in South Africa and Bahrain, Alistair?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean, it was good to come here, first race of the year after so much time off last year. But yeah, obviously I'm here to try and do the 3 races across the year. So South Africa and Bahrain next year, 2 more times.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, you two. Brilliant. Signing off for GTN. Here's Bucko.
Well, thanks for that, Bucko. I mean, wish we could have been there, but hopefully we'll see you racing back very soon.
Yeah, and on to some other race results. And we had the Hell of the West in Queensland, Australia. And it had actually quite a good pro field from some of the Australian athletes. And on the men's side, it was actually won by relatively kind of newcomer to the middle distance scene, and that was Max Newman. And in second, it was Jake Montgomery, and in third, it was Uber swimmer Josh Amberger. So that's quite a scalp to take. But it was over quite an unusual format and distance. It was a 2-kilometre swim, 80-kilometre bike, am I right in saying that?
Yeah,
and then
a slightly shorter run,
20-kilometre run.
Well, on the women's side, it was more of a domination for Sarah Crowley, but still a strong performance from her to take the win. It's time for the GTN Tribe, and we're back in the UK. This week, it's the University of Nottingham Triathlon Club, our first uni club, actually.
Yeah, actually, I used to train just down the road from these guys, so I used to see them when we were out cycling, which was really cool. This one was sent in by Catherine Hewitt, and, well, any triathlon university club is pretty good fun. And they do pride themselves on their fancy dress. Apparently, they almost call it their 4th discipline.
Yeah, I like that. There's some good evidence of it as well.
Yeah, and they do say that they sort of consist of a wide variety of social members, go try enthusiastic European Cup contenders. So really cool.
And they've even got a World Duathlon champion, silver medalist. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And they even run their own sprint triathlon and a TriStar aquathlon, which is really cool.
It's great, like putting something back, especially students are often thought of as too busy, partying and training. But the fact that they're putting this on and it's for other students to get them into the sport, which is a really lovely initiative. I think.
And I did like this thing they sent in about their legend, that is James Harkin. And apparently this legend, the man fuels himself purely on custard creams. Man after my own heart there. But he's taken on some epic challenges, including Everesting the famous Sacalobra in Mallorca, which...
Well, you've done that, haven't you?
It is very cool. And he's won the brutal double Ironman in Snowdonia.
I mean, if he's done that on custard creams, hats off.
Yeah, very cool.
But also, this is really impressive. There's some great videos. Have a look at this one.
Well, that's fantastic. We love that video. So please do send in your GTN tribes and some videos. Yeah. We really like it, and all your photos. So use the hashtag GTN Tribe over Twitter, or just send them in over Facebook. Okay, now time for the GTN Pain Cave. So, starting things off, we have one here from Don Bridgewater. There's a lot going on in this one.
There is. Well, most notably, he's watching us, Mark.
Very cool.
Good place to start.
Though I have noticed there is a GCN water bottle there.
I think we have to let him off as we don't yet have our own water bottles, and cross-channel love. Let's share.
Absolutely,
it's all about sharing.
But when we do get a GTN water bottle, Don, we want to see it there. But yeah, he's got his S-Works set up on his Oahu kicker, and we're actually also intrigued. What is that thing that's sort of...
I thought it was a trampette, but I think I'm wrong on that one.
Could be a collapsible treadmill or some sort of walking device or even a gym device. I'm not too sure, but let us know, Don.
Yeah, please do. Well, moving on, we've now got one from Patrick Martin, who, when he was home, he was using his parents' pain cave. Now, not a bad pain cave to sort of borrow this, is it?
Yeah, it looks pretty cosy. And you're we're on the screen there with our GTN
pain cave on a pain cave. I like that.
Brilliant. Yeah, and he's got his
attention to detail.
His Cervelo P5 set up on his turbo trainer with a treadmill next door to it. Fancy that for a setup.
Nice, yeah, very comprehensive. And then finally, this week, we've got this one from Brett William, who's keeping things compact for sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit more simple, but I love it. Just with his turbo set up at the end of his bed, he's got his iPad propped up on a stool, foam roller and pump and everything in the corner. It's great, it does the job. Exactly. I love it. So please keep sending in your pain cave photos using the hashtag GTN Pain Cave over Twitter and over Facebook. Now for the GTN Caption competition. And last week we had a great photo from the ITU Winter Triathlon World Championships and some really good comments in. Firstly, from Lewis Cox, he said, Master Obi-Wan Skinobi.
Nice, got a good ring to it. But our favourite comes in from Christopher Bourneman. Caption, I'm never going to win a GTN cap. May as well knit one.
Well, Christopher, stop knitting because you win the GTN swimming cap. And on to this week's Caption competition. We have a great one here from Ironman 70.3 Dubai, and it is Alistair Brownlee on the start line with a number of the other pros, and it just made me chuckle really. It's very casual from Alistair, just having
He's definitely got his racing smile face on.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what's going on with the guy next to him flexing and someone
he's just pondering the moment ahead.
Yeah, so
getting in the zone.
We'd love to hear your captions, so please drop them in the comments section below.
Well, that's it for this week's GTN show. If you haven't done so already, you can subscribe to GTN by just clicking on the globe. And if you like the look of this kit that we're wearing, then check out the link for the shop.
And we recently caught up with some of the pros and asked them any of the weird and wonderful hacks that they've tried in training for race day. And luckily me, I got to try them out. So you can see that video by clicking here.
Well, Mark's been busy and there's another video on gear ratios for triathlon that he made just here.